Hello everybody, it's Tracy here from Mini Scenes. Today we're going to be having a look at a way of making fairy lights using UV resin. So I've decided we will have the shape of our fairy lights will be this little Christmas gift. Now I made this one earlier just so that I could show you what each light was going to be formed in. So our materials will be a little mould that makes those little parcels. You can see there's 4 different moulds here. I've had this for an awful long time, but if I can find the link, I will put it in the description below. But this is what we've got, 4 little parcels in there. We've got a silicone mat that came with my UV resin starter kit from Resin. That's the little blue thing here to keep my worktops clean. Obviously we've got the UV resin, and I am still using the ones out of that kit in fact. So it's the Resin ultraviolet curing resin, which is I'm finding really good. Optional extra, if you want to put any details on the your little things afterwards, I've got a chrome paint marker pen, and as you can probably see, I've just put some little silver highlights on the bow on this little parcel. The other thing, which is an optional extra, but I thoroughly recommend it, is a mirror. This is a cheap mirror tile. Look, there's me with my glasses on. This is a cheap mirror tile that I bought a big pack of these from eBay, but you can use any old mirror really, old bathroom mirrors or mirror tiles or anything you like. I put that underneath my mould that I am trying to cure my UV resin in, because it helps to reflect some of the UV back up, which I'm finding makes the curing a lot easier. The other thing I'll be using today, rather than using the UV lamp that comes with the kit, I'll show you why. When I put my fairy light in, I need to hold it in position while it cures. And with that there, it's really difficult and you can't see what you're doing. So I'm going to use a high-powered UV light that I've got. This was again off eBay, I think. Had it an awful long time. Not the cheapest of lights I've bought, but it wasn't stupidly expensive. It is fiercely fast at curing ultraviolet resin. I'm finding I can cure it about 60 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds even. Whereas under the lamp, you're talking a couple of minutes. You would not want to look at this when it's on. You really won't. So when I'm doing the UV, I'll point it slightly to the side so that or plonk it right on top like that, on top of the mould, so that the UV gets into it, doesn't reflect back up too much in my face, because I don't want to blind myself. It plugs into a USB plug. So I've got it plugged into a spare phone charger pack. There we go. I think that's everything. So we'll get started. One thing I only need to do though is get myself the obligatory cup of tea. There we go. Cup of tea. Necessary ingredient for every crafting session. Now, the trick with this then is, here are my fairy lights. And the trick is pushing them into the resin, curing the resin around it. That's basically what it is. Now this little string of fairy lights is about 20 in a string. I bought a job lot of them from eBay. Again, put the links below. They run on button cell batteries, which are in there. Cheap as chips to replace. They do only stay illuminated for, well, if you leave them on solidly, probably only a day or something, because that is only a small battery power. But look how pretty they are. Can you see all the little lights? They come in lots of different colours. This is the multicoloured one. And they are actually wire. So you can bend it. That's important, because what we're going to do, and this is the trick I was telling you about, we're going to push them into the little mould like that, pour in the ultraviolet resin and cure it around each one. They handle the heat really well. I'm surprised just how well, because as you know, this resin, like most resins, gets very hot while it's curing, and it doesn't seem to matter. it doesn't damage the lights, which was quite a revelation when I first discovered that. Here we go. Let's see if we can do this all in one take. I'll do the first couple and then I shall speed it all up for you so that you can you don't have to sit and watch every single one. It's going to take, with the best will in the world, a good half hour to make one of these strings. Depends how well you're getting on with your resin and how quickly it's curing and all that sort of thing. When I first started making them, they were taking a couple of hours at least each set, because I hadn't worked out the mirror trick, I hadn't got such a powerful light, and I was trying to make a rig to hold it in place while it cured. Well, now I can cure it so quickly with this lamp and the mirror that I can just go and do it and on to the next. So yeah, I can make these very quickly now. Now I'm going to have a look at this mould and see if any of these are deeper. That one's deeper. That's the one we're going to use. This one here. I think I used, was it that one? Oh no, it was that one, to make our little demo one. Right, here we go. This is the exciting bit. This is a proper easy beginner's make as well. What I have done, just to jazz it up a little bit, there's only about half of this bottle of UV resin left, so I've put a little bit of holographic glitter in it, only a tiny bit. So there you go, it's in there. You can see I've dunked the light in. I bent the ends over, look, so I've got no sharp edges. Make sure the end is well under the resin. Nice and sort of central-ish. I don't want it right into the bottom either, because I don't want it to be, you know, tight up against the top, what will be the top of the little shape. So I'm trying to hover it roughly in the middle, like so. I hope you can see that. I'll try and get my hands out of the way. Tell you what, let's zoom you in. I'll try not to blind you with the light. So there we go, yes, holding it roughly in the middle. It's not going to start curing or anything until you zap it with the light. So nice and easy. One thing I do need to do is switch on the battery pack. Should plug it into a proper USB really, I wouldn't have to worry about that then. And there we go. That is one powerful UV light. It has got two settings. You can put it on a half setting as well, and you can set it so as it looks like a flippy disco light. You can make it flash. I never use those, I just use this setting. And there you go, look, that's setting up already. Just gonna keep the light on it for a little bit longer while I take a swig of my tea. And that is probably going to be cured. Feels it. Of course, this is, you can only do it as well really with slightly translucent or completely clear moulds, because again the UV's got to get through it. And there we go. There's our first one. I did have a little bit of overspill. I put slightly too much resin in there, but I can trim that off with a, would you believe, with a pair of scissors. Hang on a minute, I find that easier and safer than a knife. Obviously it only really works if you're on, you've got nice straight edges. There we go. So there's our first light, and that's the end one, so that was easy. I just dunked it in. Now, let's get the next one. So what I do from here is I fold them like that. And this is where it's handy that this is actually, you know, bendable proper wire rather than plasticky stuff that will spring back. I'm going to curve it over like that. Normally I'd just hold it like that straight above the resin, but I'm going to curve it over like that. You can see, so that you can see what's actually going on. Right, now it was this one, wasn't it? Ooh, or was it? Hang on, which one was it? It was that. Yeah, it was that one. Should mark it, shouldn't I? That would be easier. Let's do that. Let's put a dot by it. There. So, holding it in position, in goes the resin. Hope there's enough in this bottle to fill it. Now, of course, you could, there we go, you could mix your glitter up in lots of different pots so that you've got different colour glitter in. The only trouble you've got then is that you do have to keep them away from your UV. You don't want it all curing in the little pots you've got sat around. It's not like using epoxy resin where you've got all that work time. As soon as this starts to cure, that's it. So there's our second one. Now, I am going to give this string away. This is going to be a gift to one of you who puts a comment below. So if you'd like to be considered for my little giveaway, then please just put yes please, that will do. Just put yes please in the comments below. I will then use my randomizing number thingy app on my phone to pick at random a name from one of those people who've said yes please. So I will do that in a couple of weeks' time. So if you're watching this after the end of November 2022, don't bother putting that on. At the end of November 2022, I will do that draw and contact whoever's won it to get the address and that. So this will be my November 22 giveaway. There we are. That should be well and truly cured. And it is. Oh look, and I've done an overspill again. Let's just get the scissors and snap that off. There we are. Now what I said about putting those finishing touch highlights on them, dead simple. I just went round with one of these marker pens. I'll put you the link for these if I can find them again, actually, because I need to order myself some more of these pens. The mirror finish on them is probably as good as I've ever seen from a pen. But you could put any colours, you could put gold, you could put red, you know. The only thing you can't really do using this technique with the UV resin is colour them much, because the UV itself, the light, has got to get through the resin to cure it. So you can't really do like a string of red ones, that sort of thing, but you could colour it in like that afterwards. So that's what I was meaning about the colouring it in. Let's just do one more and then I'll switch it all to fast forward for you. So where's the one I put the dot by? There it is. Holding it in position, in with the UV. Sorry, in with the resin. I must stop calling everything UV. Gonna confuse, oops, gone over the side now. Gonna confuse myself if nobody else. There we go, and that's curing up already. Just give it a little bit longer. If you haven't got a mirror, just hold the light over it a bit longer or do that. But you do need to make sure the ultraviolet light gets all the way through. And on that note, probably best not to use really chunky glitter in the resin or anything. With this, because I knew I did just want to put a very fine glitter in with the resin, and just a little tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. I just took the top off the bottle of resin, because it's only half a bottle left, and chucked some glitter in. Gave it a good shake, and away we go. I'm just hoping I've got enough left to do the whole string now. If not, I'll soon get some in. Let Resin deliver very quickly. Their service is cracking good. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not sponsored by anybody yet, or ever, probably. I'm just finding them particularly good to deal with. The products are nice and sensibly priced too. If you're thinking a Christmas present gift, Christmas presents, gifts for the youngsters in the family, or you know, any crafty people you've got, these Let's Resin starter kits do really come. I'll just show you the box. Sorry, I just slapped my hand in some wet resin while I was doing this. Yeah, they do come with everything you need. That's what the little kit looks like. I'll pop you the link for that down below. Right then, I am going to speed this up and get this resin off my hand. So I'll cut the video at this point and crack on with the rest of them, just so that you can just catch the end result.